So we're going to click new game. And as soon as we're going to click OK, we're going to pause right away. Pause. Now, the first thing you want to know is that you're going to want to look here. The most important stats that you need to look at is aggro, the AI, which is going to be influenced through meditate, and the evasiveness of your gladiator. So what we're going to start by doing is we're going to set up everything onto meditate. We want to increase the gladiator's AI right away, or else it's going to be absolutely useless. When a gladiator gets to 100 AI, he stops having that kind of freeze frame when he's fighting a gladiator with a sword and he's naked. So that kind of helps your naked gladiators win half of the time. So now that everything is jacked up to meditate, we need to pay attention to aggro. If the AI has a better aggro than you, then you're in trouble. If the AI, there's a lot of things that influence the AI. If he has more evasiveness, more actual intelligence, which is the meditate feature, then you're completely screwed. So I usually, what I do is I buy food and water because, man, these things run out like fire. You want to definitely get on the good side of the legate and the magistrate. I usually like to get to the magistrate first. The employees you're going to want to hire is, you're definitely going to want to hire the medicus. Not yet though. Usually I hire him later on, but the Faber is extremely important. You want to hire him, but first make sure that you win a bit so that you're not in a net deficit of cash, and then you enable automatic gladiator training. So now we're going to unpause. Most of the time, the first fight they set you up with is always a loss, almost always. Let me just look at the aggro. None of these people have good aggro, and that is worrying me. And as you can tell, meditate is a skill that goes up extremely fast. I think it's the fastest skill. Also, do not forget to look at the at your blessings. You can get if you don't get a good blessing, it doesn't matter. It's just like it's pointless to restart because that kind of defeats the purpose. Like the thing is that our AI is much more proficient, but our aggro is less. But we still have a chance of winning here. So I'm going to set it up, see what happens. I'm not very hopeful though, because you can kind of see how the AI influences us. Usually when you start your game, if you're watching this tutorial, you're a bit confused. It's that I'm guessing that your gladiator is always stuck because the enemy just keeps attacking, and you can't mark back. Well, that's because your AI is inferior. So we definitely lost, but as you can most likely tell from, I'm guessing from as opposed to other games where you start and you just get completely destroyed, this was a very close match. So yeah, we lost. But usually what I do is, oh, you're going to have to upgrade these again. That kind of sucks. So we're going to set him onto heal. He's a bit vengeful. It doesn't matter. Next fight, Asinius is going to be good enough to fight it because his meditate skill is going to go up. We're going to increase the this to a wooden gladius, or we can even go to a full-on gladius, but for now we're going to hire Fabier because he's extremely important. He's basically going to take care of all of your upgrades and stuff later on into the game. Usually, this is just the beginning tutorial, but usually what I like to do is eventually I just focus on getting 1 or 2 or 3 gladiators prepped up. Now, this part is a spoiler, but so I'm going to give you 10 seconds to kind of like close your ears. Meanwhile, the days are going. You close your ears? Okay. So I'm going to pause now. The thing is that your best gladiators, eventually what I usually try to do is, before the championship, I buy a bunch of gladiators from the legate and release them. The thing is that, and I usually tend to release my first best if I have a second best that's extremely proficient and that I think can personally take on the championship. Because after the championship, a kind of like an event happens where all the gladiators that you release will come and save you from kind of being trialed to death. And it's a complicated story, but you want to be kind to your gladiators, and that's really important. So I think Asinius is going to be able to. I'm gonna upgrade it to Gladius. I think he's going to be able to win this next fight. But don't just go into blind here. Auto repair. We're going to go for automatic upgrades. Right? Oh, we need wine. Don't forget to buy food and water, eh? You're gonna your people are going to starve to death. I've almost starved many times, and you also want to get into favor with the Senate, with etc. So let's look at him right now. Let's pick our. Let's not pick him. Let's pick him, Asinius. We want Asinius to fight this one. So let's look at the overall. 158 health, 136. Okay. AI skill 18, 45. His aggro is much better than ours. His agility is much better than ours. We could accept this fight. Once again, it boils down to luck also. There's a lot of luck into this. But you can kind of look at the stats. The stats are important. For instance, our shield is worse, but like I told you, our AI, if you can kind of see, our AI efficiency is extremely high compared to his, which is why we're just rhyming at him. So, like I said, meditation up to 100 meditate, up to 100 AI intelligence is key into beating this game. You need to, the first thing you do before you even set it on enable automatic gladiator training, you set it straight away to meditate. After at 100, you switch it back to an average of whatever you want to do, and if you have any trump cards or any specific points you want to do, any specific stats you want to train, you can set that up. But after 100, you have to make sure to have at least 100 meditate. And the gladiators you want them with evasiveness, aggro, and a bit of turtle, but mostly focus on aggro and evasiveness. Aggro is key. You want as much aggro as you can get, and you want as much AI intelligence as you can get as well. And that's it. That's it. Just keep playing. Be smart. You can, if you purchase a slave, like I said, we're going to go through this. We look, okay, his aggro is bad. I don't understand why I'm getting these horrible aggro. But usually the slaves, I like to buy a lot of slaves because, as you can tell, they come with really good agility and strength usually. And then I just set the meditation all the way up. And then yeah, he's gonna take a while there to get rid of that agility training. That's also a downside to enable automatic gladiator training is, well, that. But I guess the negative outweigh, like I can most likely guarantee that we're going to win the next fight. And Velasquez, I kind of just want to show you what I'm talking about with Velasquez here. Is when he gets to 100, and if we set him, I'll show you here. Next fight, we're going to pit Velasquez, even though we're going to lose with him. We're still going to pit him, and it's important that I show you why. Meditating. And as you can see, Faber, you also want to buy the Medicus because he heals your characters as they're training. And usually you can get the Architect because he increases... He kind of builds things that help you with your training. So you can see this AI skill is horrible, but his aggro once again is something to watch out for. But let's go with Velasquez for this time. I just want to show you one thing. We're not gonna win with Velasquez. I just want to show you something. Look how let's look at the beginning of the fight. How he kind of freezes. Wait for it. You see how he's frozen right now? Frozen in fear. At 100 AI, that does not happen. That ceases to happen at 100 AI, which is why you start winning a lot more fights. And as you can tell, his AI is a lot better than this guy's, which he actually might win this. His AI is just so phenomenally better. But he lost, but he got close. He got close, and well, he was as new as the day he was born. So, anyways, that's all you need to know. The rest of the game is up to you to figure out. Thank you.